Well, I used to fly airplanes. I was a commuter captain back in the 80s. And early 90s, I had some problem walking. Didn't think much about it. I tried to get up from water skis. I had difficulty doing that. Thought it was fatigue. Started tripping over my feet. And one day I just fell down a flight of stairs, not knowing what happened. I remember the story about Lou Gehrig. And I went to see a doctor 6 months later, and he diagnosed me with MS. And I read Annette Funicello's book, and our stories were fairly similar, so it kind of confirmed that I probably had MS. Eventually, I surrendered to a wheelchair part-time, and I needed it more and more. I lived in a small space, so I had grab bars all around. I'd stand up on my own, and I tried to survive on my own for as long as possible. And then when that wasn't possible, I moved to a place where I needed more mobility. I got an electric chair, and the electric chair just made me worse. Made my posture worse. My legs started getting really thin, started losing muscle. My back was bothering me. Posture, I had problems with digestion, constipation, bladder infections, normal problems of sitting most of the time. And a friend of mine at the time said, "You should get a stand-up wheelchair." And I go, "I didn't even know they existed." So that person arranged for one to be demonstrated to me, and the salesman came over, put me in the chair. The chair wouldn't work. I mean, it would elevate, but it wouldn't stand me up. That part was broken that day. He wanted $35,000 for the machine. I go, "That's crazy. That's like my van without the modifications cost that." So I went online and I looked up for standing wheelchairs. And I ran into a small company in the UK that had these wheelchairs. And I called him up. It was around Christmas. So I guess his phone was forwarded to his house, and he picked it up, talked to him for some length of time. And I decided, take a gamble, order it. Gave him my measurements. And 3 months later, it showed up my door. And it was very comfortable compared to most of the wheelchairs that I tried. It had this funny knee brace on. It kind of made me a little self-conscious about it. But I tried it all, and I could stand up. I could stand up and move. I could go to a store standing up. I could stand up and talk to people when everybody around me is standing up. It made me feel better. My digestion problems went away. With the chair and physical therapy, my muscles came back in my legs, and I started having less and less medical problems as a result, not from MS, but from being in a chair. And since then, I've been married, traveled, all because of the chair. Gave me my life back. And for so long, between the time I was diagnosed to the time I got into a wheelchair, in thinking about it, I was miserable and had a hard time for a very long time, way before I hit the wheelchair phase. Just struggling. It used to take me an hour just to pull myself onto bed, those kinds of things. The wheelchair allows a smaller person, a female, to transfer me, allows people to help me much easier, and I can be on my own for hours at a time because I'm able to lie down if I'm tired. I can stand up. Then through Easy Lock, I lock into the passenger side of my van, and I can be driven around. Some people with their abilities are even driving from this chair. It's just amazing. The chair is just not only a lifesaver, but it changes your life. It gives you your life back. gives you your functionality back. You're very dependent on the machine, but it's better than staying in bed all your life. Because I tell you, without this chair, I'd be dead. Whether I'd be dead physically or mentally or what. It just gives you every opportunity that that a normal person has, pretty much. Yeah, you'll need assistance, with certain disabilities, but at least it gives you that ability to go around. The chair we take it to the airplane, they transfer me to a transfer chair, they put the chair in manual mode, put it underneath with the cargo, meets me at the door at the next destination, and off I go. I stand up and go. And it's an amazing experience. And so when I saw the abilities and I see what's available in the normal marketplace, it just astounds me. So it allowed me to persevere. Took a couple of years of negotiations, and I got a contract to offer these to people in the United States. And hopefully they'll be able to take advantage of this. Insurance is now reimbursing for these chairs, and which allows more people to take the opportunity to have a chair like this. Because, this is 2009. It's prehistoric what they offer out there. You don't have to be sitting. You can stand. Yeah, it's a mechanical way of doing it, but we're made to stand upright. That's our makeup. We're not made to sit down all the time. We're not made to be stuck in a bed. And granted, this isn't for everybody. There's some people that won't be able to use this, I'm sure. But you don't have to be able to support your weight with your feet. The way that the chair can be configured in many ways, they have a headpiece, so you can even move the chair with your motions of your head. If you can't use your hands at all, this can be adapted to many forms of disability. There is a height and weight limitation, but many people will be able to benefit by this. And there are other stand-up chairs out there, but this appears to be the most affordable, with the greatest benefits and the most comfort of all the chairs. There's sites out there will rate the chair, and they concur with that. Even the other chairs that are $35,000, some of them aren't as nice as this one. So it's like, all I want to do is offer it to people, and at least they'll have that opportunity.